Too long, man.
Way too long, man.
You've had customers coming in the store and telling you it's been a long time since you've been on that show.
Yeah. It's been cool.
I know, and same thing with me. I was out at a couple of events, and people are going, "When are you going to have Sam on again?" So it's good to see you.
Yeah, man.
You have a nice New Year's and Christmas?
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I took the kids up to Big Bear, make a snowman, that whole thing. So that was awesome.
How was that?
Awesome.
Cool?
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, memories for a lifetime,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I got to, see a little bit of snow for the kids, falling snow and all that stuff, tubing down those hills and stuff like that. So that was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the dead of winter, crummy weather, but we still have lots of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Let me just ask you a hypothetical. Do you think there are still bluefin? Don't even get started on that. I had a report from Tommy Holland, though, and he's talking to the guys in the South Pacific, and they are having extraordinarily slow fishing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a good score right now is like 20. Water temp's perfect, but they haven't found the fish yet. So what that says about this year, I'm not ready to make a fool of myself quite yet. Hey, welcome everybody. Sam De La Torre, you guys all know Sam. He's great from Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California. You should drop by that store if you haven't. It's a great place. I know you're going to love it. If you have any questions at all for Sam tonight, I'll be reading them to him. I can still read, so
Good.
Yeah, that's how I got that job in China. Can you read this sentence? Yeah, keep out. Okay, you're hired. So I got it. All right, Dan Smith. Hello, Phil and Sam. Good evening to all you fine fishing folks of the Friedman Adventure family. Drop Dead Fred. Good evening, fellas. It is an honor to be a part of this. Love you. Travis Bright says hello. Thanks everybody for all your support. We deeply appreciate it. You have a question for Sam on tackle, anything like that, he's the man, because there's still a few questions on my YouTube. I answer everything.
Yeah.
But when it gets too technical, there's like 4 or 5 before you leave tonight.
We'll take care of
We're going to answer those. Yeah.
Maybe do them on the air.
I know. Yeah.
They're
Exactly. Abel says, "Good evening, guys." Abel, so good to see you. Steve Bermudas. Hey, Philip. See you tomorrow. What's the price of fishing license with the ocean enhancement this year, Sam?
We just did one here. It was around $86. Well, I got the 2-pole stamp too for freshwater fishing, but without that, it wasn't that $75 thing, Although I did notice too when I was doing it for myself.
$65. Abel says 65.
65 plus the ocean enhancement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and what I did notice though is that those are all dated individually. So now we have a 365 day license. So, like for instance, if you're gonna buy a license and go fish, at a park or whatever, with your kids, go some trout fishing or something like that, and you didn't want to buy the ocean enhancement stamp, you don't have to right now. You could buy it later, but the date on that is gonna start on the day you buy that.
Yeah.
So now you'll have like an uneven date. So
probably best to just do it.
I would say just buy them all, whatever you think you're gonna use.
Yeah.
But that way you don't get messed up, and next year you think you have a license that's good until, April 1st, let's just say Rockfish season.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's only good until if you bought it next, this week or something like that.
Right.
So be careful of that.
Isaac says veterans get a great discount, which is, he didn't say great, but
we give them a discount.
They should get a big one.
Yeah.
Should be free.
Policemen, firemen, all those guys.
They get them too?
Yeah, we hook them up. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right. Very good. Israel de la Cruz. Hello, Friedman Adventure family. God, it's good to see all of you here. Thank you so much for joining us. So, do you still think there's bluefin tuna on the Tanner Bank?
100%.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Even in all that crappy weather and everything?
It's not that. It's bad for sure.
100-footers on Cortez Bank, baby.
That's just right on the bank.
I know.
Yeah. I wouldn't think that they're gone. I wouldn't think so. But
it wouldn't surprise me.
This is the biggest weather event we've had in some years. So that is kind of a little concerning. But from what the boats that did get them here at the end of the year, the volume of fish that they saw that wasn't even connected to the Cortez Bank. This is all stuff down below.
Yeah, on Tanner, right?
No, the stuff that was down. Yeah, the stuff that
toward the fly or what?
Yeah. All the stuff that those 3-day boats caught.
Oh, right. Down there by Cedros.
Almost. Yeah. That volume of fish, that they got, all the purse seine boats. I don't know how long has it been since we've been on.
Since you've been on?
But Dave Maestro, the stuff that he caught, right? So all that stuff was down below the border.
Yeah.
So the volume of fish that was there seemed to be way more than substantial to think that there's fish either here or on the way or within range.
Yeah.
So once we get some weather, I think that they're going to be on them right away.
This is incredible, isn't it?
I can't say they're going to be right on the Cortez. I wouldn't say that with 100%, but I would imagine there's some fish out there. But there's either fish there that's lingering from last year, or we got the new fish that come
start
around.
all over again, start down there.
Because that fish was big. That Cortez fish was all nice sized fish. 20 to 50, 20 to 60 pound fish, beautiful fish.
Right, but not like that Cedros fish.
Yeah, the stuff that they got, on those 5-day trips, those was all giants.
Yeah, the Supreme
100 to 300 pound fish.
Yeah.
So that was all a new batch of fish.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if that stuff is kind of like moved on, I think the new batch of fish is here. So I think we're good.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with feed. They're just looking for feed. And if there's squid around, then that's what they've been munching on. This cold water.
Yeah.
I mean, that's perfect for market squid.
Yeah, when we first got on this bluefin, whatever, 8 years now that this stuff's been around steady, there was a good squid year, and we did catch a lot of that bluefin on squid.
Yeah.
So that might be something that guys might want to try to invest. I mean, there's not much to it. It's just a neck sinker and a hook, but where you're looking at your tackle and looking at more of that kind of tackle for the trips, if you have a trip planned in the fall or something like that. I mean, now, the way we book trips, you don't book them 2 weeks ahead. You're booking them 6, 7, 8 months ahead now, so that's probably the only thing that I could see kind of out front, right now that might be a change is maybe some more squid for bait,
And Sam, you've got to think that all this market squid, and China kind of shut down the commercial market on it, so there's not a lot of commercial pressure on it. So it's doing its thing.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean it's attracting predators. In the long run, I think we're setting up for one heck of a spring. Sea bass, halibut, for sure up there in the Channel Islands. But there's a lot of squid down here at Cat, and it vacillates. Sometimes it's dry, and then Cat's got it, Clementi's got it, Santa Barbara's got it. You got to think my predictions are, I should say it's going to suck.
It's going to suck.
Yeah, it's going to be terrible. Don't go fishing for the rest of your life. It'd be wide open, right? It's cold water. There's not going to be a Dorado anywhere near California, and then, a month of wide open Dorado. You got to think it's going to be great.
Yeah. I mean, everything's pointing to a great season. I think that whenever it does happen, and at some point it's going to have to drop off, this great fishing, I don't think it'll happen from one year to the next. I think we would have a couple years where it's kind of like slowing down, and then maybe gone. But judging from what they got, pretty much the last week of the year was full speed, 150-pound tuna, and all this bait around. I got to imagine, like you're saying, we should be in for a banner spring. For
Absolutely. Sure. Hey, I've got 4 questions for you tonight. You can win $25 worth of Opsin fluorocarbon. We'll do those throughout the show. Let's go to Jack Sepulveda. Jack is a great guy because he bought some raffle tickets, and then it took me 6 months to fill them out and send him the photos today. Jack, thank you for your patience. Hello, Phil and Sam. I want to start tying my own assist hooks for my jigs. You're looking at it too.
Yeah.
What kind of line do you recommend for tuna fishing?
As far as for the assist hook material, so
Opsin fluorocarbon. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I think they're talking about the string to tie the hooks together.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's a major brand, like you're not going to find a Power Pro brand or a Berkeley brand or something like that that sells it. I know that there's some stuff out there. I know BKK sells some stuff. And in general, you're going to see it listed as Kevlar line. That's going to be the easiest. Although some guys do use some heavy hollow braid.
Yeah.
So there's a couple different ways to tie those hooks together. So it depends on how you're going to tie them together. But it's either going to be really, really big, like 500-pound hollow, or it'll be that Kevlar line. And that's probably going to be something that you're going to see a lot more in tackle shops this year, because I've been getting a lot of guys asking for materials to tie their own hooks. So I think we're probably going to see some more of that this year. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Jeff from the 540 Slinger says, good evening, Sam. Jeff, you have an event coming up. It's going to be another casting in a park, and I'm sure you'd like to participate. I want to participate. Danny Cadota is going to be there. Put that date up there for me, Jeff, since I'm an airhead and I don't remember when it is. Hey, Arturo Jacinto. Arturo, thank you for the info. License 5858, second rod, 1836, Ocean Enhancement, 674, total 8368. A bargain.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And I just thought about it with mentioned about veterans getting a discount. I think he was actually talking about licensed as well.
Yeah, right. That's what he was talking about, right?
I thought he was mentioning, because we were talking about the shop.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Well, we covered
shop
both those
discount,
things at the same time. Yeah, all right. Charles Zimmer, how are the guys hooking the squid for the bluefin?
You know, from what I saw when we got them before, it didn't really seem like there was a special way to hook them. I mean, pretty much just right through the mantle one time. Maybe not as much as when we kind of like double and triple hook them, fishing sea bass. You know, when we do that a lot of times, it's to try to kind of keep the bait on the hook, because you get blue perch and stuff trying to eat it off your hook. That might tear it off. With the bluefin, usually you're not in blue perch zone, so you probably just straight hook it. And the way they eat it, they're going to suck the whole thing in, so you don't really have to worry about them picking you, like you would a blue perch or something like that. So.
I would say that the majority of captains recommend the one time.
Yeah.
But Tino Valentine was on here, and I think he calls it booger on a hook.
Yep.
You've heard him before? Yeah. And he says, just put it through 100 times. Don't tell me they won't. So I respect Tino a lot as a fisherman. So that's like...
Well, I mean, it's something that you can adjust. I mean, if you get where like you can feel like stuff pecking at your bait, and you get picked on your bait, and this probably wouldn't apply to bluefin, more to sea bass or halibut. But if you're getting picked on your bait, and they keep tearing it off, then for sure I would do a double, triple, whatever hook.
Yeah.
And that's why guys use that longer shank owner AquaTwist hook. There's other brands that make the same style of hook, but it's a longer shank, so you can basically string it on there 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, perfect. SoCal Steve, I love you. Hit the like button, please, you guys, please. Sam cannot go home to his children until we get 100 likes.
Oh, man.
Okay? Yeah, you're screwed.
Like.
He's ready to go already. All right, and let's see. Abel, 6532 license with ocean enhancement. Just looked at my receipt. Okay, I think we got that covered. February 19th at Long Beach Marine Stadium, near the Lifeguard Museum. I'm guessing 8 o'clock, Jeff?
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll throw that up there in a second. But so we'll all be there February the 19th at Long Beach Marine Stadium near the Lifeguard Museum. And if I keep talking just like this for a few more moments, Jeff will have the time up there, and I will be able to not stop talking and just give you the time. So make sure you hit that like button. And yes, it's at 8 a.m. I did it, right?
I can't make it.
Oh, why? What do you got going on?
Del Mar.
Oh, shoot.
Del Mar.
And what day is that? Saturday?
Well, it's 4 days.
Yeah, I know.
Saturday being one of them,
Yeah. I'm going to Del Mar too, but I can go up there in the afternoon or whatever. I'm going to be hanging out at your booth some of the time, whether you like it or not. You didn't know that, did you?
You told me about that.
Oh, I'm glad I did. It's a Sunday, so yeah. I was planning on going to Del Mar Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
And so, that'll be fun. We'll do a podcast from your...
Yeah.
Well, you'll be busy, but I'll do a podcast.
We'll do some, yeah.
Yeah, we can do a lot of stuff. In fact, did you know I ran some shorts on Wahoo fishing with you today?
I saw that
the other
today,
day? Yeah, those are great.
Cool.
People are loving those.
Yeah.
I think those had over 5,000 views, your 2 videos.
Really?
So, yeah, you're a popular guy. Hey, what do you think about this now? I know you're not. Are you into whale watching? Like your kid, you probably are because of the kids, right?
Probably will be here, coming up.
So Tom Durr's going to take the Judith in. I went with him the other day. I don't know. Did you see that rough weather we got into?
I saw that,
oh,
yeah.
Man,
At first, I thought you just had reposted some footage, I didn't know that was you. And then I heard the voice, and I was like, what the hell are they doing out there?
Oh, my God. I'll tell you about it in a second. And this is not part of the tour that Tom's doing, but he'll take like 6 or 8 people whale watching for $600. So it's $100 a piece.
Yeah.
But it's just you guys.
That's pretty cool.
The thing's 25 knots. Yeah. And so this Saturday he's going to start. Anybody wants to go, Tom's number. Give him a call tonight. Wake him up. He goes to bed early. And tell him I told you to do it. 310. He's 900 years old.
If he doesn't answer, just keep calling.
Yeah, just call over and over again. Text him. 310-877-1257 if you want to join. I'm going to go Sunday.
That's cool.
And I had I love seeing that stuff. I
Yeah,
really do.
Yeah.
But when you have little kids, then it's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. So Tom's doing that, and that should be good. CCA. Do you have any information on that?
Yeah.
You want to tell everybody?
So, this year I'm on the board, of our chapter here, our area, LA North here. And so basically we were just talking about the Fred Hall show coming up at the Long Beach show, not the Del Mar show. And I should say LA South. So we're LA South. But so we take care of organizing the member drive there at the show. So they have several booths. They have one outside, kind of in the main area, one up by Pine Street, and one inside the show. And so we were just talking about just some different things that they're doing and kind of getting us new guys up to speed on how they do it. And one of the things that they mentioned is a big deal is getting volunteers. So, at first I was like, man, that's going to be kind of hard to do, I mean, especially for the show. If a guy goes to the show, they want to go to the show. But the way that they got it worked out is actually pretty good. So it's just 3-hour shifts.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, you can get there, and actually the first shift, I believe, it starts before the show because they got it set up. And the last shift is at the very end of the show. So you may even be able to kind of do your whole show thing and then come in and volunteer at the end, and that helps with breakdown and things like that.
Yeah.
Also, too.
So when you do your 3-hour shift, are you in the show then?
Yeah.
You don't have to pay to get in?
Exactly. So that's the other part of it too. So like if you were to go down there and volunteer, let's just say to set up, you might miss the first hour of the show or something like that, but then you're in.
Yeah.
So they'll walk you right in, and I guess it's $20 what the charge is this year for being in the show. And they even mentioned, like, if you're retired and just kind of wanted to really help us out with the CCA effort, that if you were to do multiple days or multiple shifts for the day or something like that, they'd even pay for the parking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I heard that Wayne Coteau would give you a kiss too if you.
That you'd have to volunteer quite a bit.
Only the guys.
Yeah.
Though. He doesn't want to kiss any of the girls. No. I don't know what that's all about.
Is that what he told you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that would
called me up like 3 a.m. Was mumbling, kind of slurring his words. I don't know what
you called him about. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe I did. Yeah, maybe I dreamt that whole thing.
So they're mentioning all that stuff, and I thought, okay, we better get on that. Also, too, they're also mentioning that just in this whole, coordinate everything, they also were looking to get maybe a couple more even board members just to be able to spread out, the workload to make it easier on everybody so that not any one person has way too much to do. And, after talking with these guys for a little while, they're all pretty dedicated, and, we have so much going on with this new, I don't know if you guys have talked about it on the podcast yet, but the 30-30,
why don't
deal.
you explain that a little bit?
So basically, it's the best way that they explain it to me is MLPA.
More of that nonsense.
Yeah, it's the same basic thing.
Let me tell you why I say nonsense, because
right,
closures don't work.
They don't.
Now managing the resource works.
Right.
Yeah, and slot limits on calico bass, that kind of
stuff.
Fish have tails, and they swim out of those closed zones, and it doesn't work.
It's just not the right way to do it, for sure.
But the general public doesn't know that, and when some politician stands up there and says, "I'm going to protect the," everybody says, "Okay, that sounds like a good idea," and it's BS.
And they're really not,
right?
And that's part of it too. Is so basically, it's to have more closures, and that's the bottom line, But for us to be able to kind of like educate people on it and really kind of get the word out onto, why it really isn't the best way to do it, we basically need to grow our organization, CCA, to be able to spread the word. So that's kind of what they do at the show is spread the word. Get membership. When you become a member, you're basically able to support the effort. And so it's a national effort actually. There's this whole CCA thing. It's a national organization. We have our statewide issues. Obviously, that we're not talking about the same thing that someone in Texas might be having to deal with. So every state kind of deals with their own deal, but it's all kind of managed through a national board. Because at the end of the day, that's where a lot of stuff happens in Washington.
Definitely.
Sacramento and Washington. So those kind of influences need a lot of money, and so sometimes people think, well, how much money? It's like, well, you got to think about the other side.
They're loaded.
They're loaded.
They're loaded.
So it really does take a lot to really kind of, give us a chance. And so, we already have gone through this with MLPA. This is going to be another version of it, just kind of worded a different way, but it's the same basic thing. It's actually even to a, potentially a larger extent. So it's something we really want to kind of make sure that we're ahead of. So, that being said, the guys are just looking for volunteers to really kind of man the booth and help us with getting more members.
It is really regressive. It hurts the little guy more than it hurts anybody. The guys with money, they're flying off to Cabo or Panama or Costa Rica or whatever, or they have a yacht and they go out fishing. But the little guy who depends on jumping on a sport boat, at the best, or going to a pier, or fishing
Yeah.
some part of Malibu that gets
Right.
closed because
Kayak
some
fishing or-
elitist with
Yeah.
$6 billion doesn't want people walking on a public beach. It hurts them. And Teddy Roosevelt, who started the national park system, he didn't start the national park so the deer could frolic and have a good time together. He said specifically, I want the common man to be able to go into those parks, because he was a young, frail kid going down the tubes, and he went and spent some time in Wyoming, I think it was, and he became this robust. He credited the outdoors with his, becoming a man.
Right.
And he wanted that. And so, I mean, it's great. You want to shut down these areas so the sheep's head can have a great time, play cards or whatever. It's really so that we can enjoy it and we can be responsible and manage the resource.
And the other thing too is, this is kind of more of a philosophical kind of question, obviously, so what's the better way to deal with this? I mean, I'm pretty sure both sides feel like their way is the best way.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't think they're doing it out of malice, but I will say that if you don't have contact with something, you're probably not as apt to really know exactly what you need to manage it. So it'd be like telling somebody how to raise a dog if they've never had a dog.
Right.
So if you've never really kind of done it, it's really hard to really to expect someone to know what it really takes. And so as sportsmen, we're the ones that are out there hunting and fishing or doing whatever it is you do, to be able to say that those guys know more, which, I mean, obviously there has to be somebody that does the studies and that puts forth the data, but realistically we have to be able to take charge of that a little bit better, because we're the ones who are the stewards of the ocean.
We're out there.
We're out there,
Yeah.
And so we're really the ones that probably are the best suited for that. Of course, that's not the way it works. There is legislation and things that have to go through certain channels to make things go and come, but that's basically what CCA is set up to accomplish, is to put those guys and give them the right kind of data and the right information and the right firepower to be able to go and into those places and fight for us, basically. Yeah.
I went to a club meeting and Denise Davis said, "Hey, are you coming to the CCA banquet?" And I said, "Well, I'll have to check my schedule." And she said, "Well, you're the MC." I said, "Oh, I am? I didn't know that." So yeah, I'm going. And how can people get information on that, or if they want to sign up and go to that banquet? And it's important they go, right?
Yeah,
they'll meet a lot of great people.
Right.
And there's all kinds of great raffles and.
Yeah. So the banquet's in May, and that's a fundraiser for the state.
It's in May.
Yeah. So what I'm talking about is Fred Hall. Volunteers for the booths to get membership there, yeah.
But there's a banquet coming up at the end of the month, right?
I think that's going to be in San Diego.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, is that where I'm going?
Yeah.
I don't even know where I'm going. You got me more confused than ever.
But yeah,
I heard it was at some paintball place or something.
I think that's a different event down there. Yeah. So what I'm talking about is for up here, LA, is the Long Beach show. Long Beach show is our neighborhood, so that's what we're taking care of that. Our chapter's taking care of that.
Yeah.
The guys down below are taking care of their stuff down there too. So that's important to support those guys as well. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what we're really looking for is that on CCA, on their website, you can actually there's some contact information there. Also, too, if you want to, pre-register to become a member of CCA, you can register there for the show, and actually at the show, so like if you do it online and you do it before you get to the show, that's also going to include an entry to the show.
Yeah, right. You get in free, right?
Right, and I think they're kind of trying to work it out to where if you do that ahead, get to the show, are already paid up, or even if you pay there, that we're going to have a separate kind of VIP line, because especially in the first thing in the morning, that line goes all the way to the parking lot. Past the parking lot might be an hour before you get in.
Yeah.
Well, we might have a kind of a special line for our CCA guys. So that'd be cool.
All right, I'm going to ask a question here pretty soon, but first, Abel says, sometimes whales show up inside the harbor.
Right.
Abel, last year, Greg Watson, his wife, Melody, and I jumped on his little boat here. And we went out and found a whale right there at the breakwell. It was cool, man. We got right on that thing and come up and blow. You could clearly see it. You could easily go, hey, it's going to come up. You can see it coming up.
Yeah.
And that's always cool when they're snorkeling or they spy hop or do all that crazy stuff. So, yeah, absolutely. Tim P. wants to know, from you and me, I'm guessing, but mostly you because you're the important man tonight. Do you have a lifetime fishing license or do you buy it yearly?
I buy it yearly, yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. You know, I mean...
Do you save money by it?
You do. I mean, well, it depends on...
Yeah.
Potentially,
Exactly.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I probably get one for about $3 now with my lifespan. It's right on the... I'm 1 foot on a banana peel.
Yeah. I think, especially if you have kids, it's a really good deal.
Yeah.
You know, really, really good
Oh, you
deal.
mean buy a kid? Yeah,
Right,
little
right.
kid one? Yeah.
Right.
You know, gotta be, what's wrong
Busy,
with you?
man, busy.
I know, me too. All right, so, yeah, there it is. Jeff from the 540 Slingers Club, the Friedman Adventure family to the rescue once again. Now I know where I'm going. Alhambra, the CCA Angler Games event. In fact, Jeff has a table. And so, yeah, I think I'm the MC at that. Right, Jeff?
Okay.
Can you check into that for me?
He's got
Too
one
many
now.
balls. Yeah. All right, you guys ready? Depends on age 62 plus 594.
That's not bad.
So it's like 80. So you gotta
8 years
live what,
worth.
8 years?
Well, 8 years, but it's going to be going up every year. So
Yeah, right.
You're paid, yeah.
Well, not only
Probably 7
you gotta
years.
live 8 years, you're gonna be able to fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You go down
yeah.
the tubes and you can't walk anymore. It's really sad getting old, Sam.
Maybe 4 years, yeah. No,
All right, here we go. We're gonna ask a question, and you get 25. Oh shoot, I need a pen. I got one. I'll write down your name, and then at the end of the show, I'll send you out a code that you put in at checkout. All right. All right, here we go. This is about you. In a recent Friedman Adventures short, what lure did Sam De La Torre say was the best for Wahoo? The clock is ticking. Do you think anybody's going to actually know this?
for sure.
2,000 people watched that video. Over 2,000. Sam De La Torre will break into tears if somebody does not know what, let's say, fish guy. How are the industry? We'll get to that in a moment. But we're waiting for the answer to this one. And if nobody can answer, I'm going to count down Bermuda Shorts, STD, Nomad, Mad Mac. No. I'm going to count 10,
Bermuda shorts.
9.
Come
8.
on, guys.
Charles Zimmer, DTX, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's it.
Charlie Zimmer, you got it, man. We're going to be with Charles Thursday night.
Thursday.
He's the president, El Presidente. All right, so Charles Zimmer gets the first one, $25 worth of opsin fluorocarbon, right? Okay, so good thing. All right, what else were we talking about? Well, I wanted to talk to you about, hey, the El Patron's coming. Have you darn, it's too late now, but man, that boat, they are just gutted that thing.
Really?
Yeah, so what they're planning on doing, I think, is running here out of here for like 3 or 4, or maybe the rest of the season, because they're kind of getting out of the Puerto Vallarta bite. And then they're going to go down there, but the boat looks great. It's fast. He's going to run. I asked him here. He said they'll do the usual 10 knots, but when they're moving spot to spot, like they're fishing Clemente or whatever, they're going to go 15.
Wow.
And so, that's more fishing time when you do that.
Yeah.
That is
pretty
for
cool.
sure. All right, Fish Guy, how are the industry manufacturers, Penn, Daiwa, Accurate, etc., taking a position on the MPAs as affecting their business and therefore the employees' jobs, etc.? In California, we don't think about that.
Yeah. I mean,
People's jobs are not important, right?
no, I mean, I would imagine, I can't say I have an official statement from anybody, but I would imagine anybody who's involved in a business would want to be involved in pursuing anything that furthers their business. So I would imagine that
They got to be against it.
Yeah, of course.
And not, I mean, how can I put this? Obviously, for business reasons, but I don't think any one of those guys, Daiwa, Penn, anybody says, yeah, let's do it because for a few years we'll get rich. It may deplete the resource and then we're out of business after that, but nobody's thinking that way. They're thinking, hey, wait a minute, let's do this a different way. Let's manage the resource. I don't know why they don't do slot limits on calico bass.
And something also to consider is they have a few different manufacturers here. So you have Penn, Daiwa, and Accurate. That's actually really good for kind of what I want to say is Penn and Daiwa are multinational corporations. So Southern California may only be 5% of their business or something like that.
Right.
And so not that they don't care, but generally their contribution may not be as big as someone like Accurate that is a homegrown Southern California business. So I would imagine Accurate probably has a larger percentage of their influence, wanting to go towards these types of things, So not that Penn or Daiwa wouldn't do something, but also too, they deal with these types of issues worldwide, So I would say that, yeah, they're definitely against it, but I can't really see them, turning all of their efforts towards just just California only.
Yeah.
This is a California issue, and we as sportsmen of this resource need to really take it on ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely, right?
Yeah.
It's super important. And, William Davis, do you know William Davis?
Mm-hmm.
He was adamant. He's like, we've got to do something. This is
Yeah.
such a big thing, this 30-30. Yeah, I mean,
and the whole thing is that it's all about constituency. That's why you want to have a lot of members. So you want to be able to show to these governing boards that people, we do care.
Yeah.
And that's really the bottom line. Either you care about your sport or you don't.
Right.
And so and CCA has made it so easy to support them. You go down there, you sign up, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's other things you can do. Like I said, we need volunteers. There's other events that are going on. Obviously, if you have the time, there's even kind of higher levels of this organization that you can get involved with as well. But for the guy that's just a regular Joe, if that's all you did was just sign up, that's really what we're trying to accomplish. That's what CCA needs, is to be able to show, yeah, we don't have like 18 guys that support this. We have 18 million guys, So this is really kind of what we need as a state, is to show the governing people that we do care about this. So, as far as they're concerned, they're looking at it as, who's making the most noise, which
Absolutely.
which side is which wheel is the squeakiest,
Yep.
And so that's all we're trying to do. That's all CCA at this level is trying to do, is to try to show that we do care. And it's real simple, now with smartphones and all this stuff, there's actually ways to sign on and become a member right through your phone while you're waiting in line or while you're having your lunch or whatever. It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
So that's really the thing, is take 10 minutes out of your day, sign up, and at least do that. That's really what we want. In this case, we have the shows coming up, so there's a little added kind of kickback benefit. They besides coming into the show, I know that they give you like a little goodie bag, so you're almost getting most of your money back. And they even have higher level. They were talking about that. They have like lifetime members, and I think it costs like it's where you can donate a certain amount of money. I think it starts at like $1,000, but
yeah.
With their events that they got going on, you're almost getting like $1,000 back in perks, And so I'm like, that doesn't seem like such a bad deal, really, if you kind of look at it that way. And $1,000 is a lot of money, but for the guys that can afford that, it's something that they should really consider. But at the very least, if you just become a member, we just kind of need that roster to be as big and as long as possible, so that we can really show that we really do care.
100%. Let's go back to the Fred Hall show for a moment. Bart came in here the other day.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Man, it was really good to see him.
Yeah.
It really, God, I've had experiences with him since 1985. So how long is that? 90 years or something? It was great. His father, his mother. And I don't think the show, and he said it, is going to be like the old Fred Hall show this year. But to get back to that the following year, we need people to come out and support it and have a good time and enjoy it. And it's not that it's going to be a bad experience. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
But on just a kind of a brother fisherman level,
Right.
I really want people to come out and support Bart. I really do.
Yeah, I've seen some of that on social media, guys posting, if they're going to go or not go, which, they almost sound like, which team are you going to be on? Like, you're going to this show? I'm like, go to them all.
Why don't you be on everybody's team?
Yeah.
Go to the one in Orange County.
Yeah, those guys are not opposing to each other. Yeah, they're definitely competition, but it's almost like to where I know that when I first started the shop, guys would come in to visit, and they had a T-shirt from another shop, and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Sorry for what? It's a T-shirt." If you're coming in and you're a sport fishing enthusiast, I won already.
Yeah.
I don't really care what T-shirt you're wearing. Just like these guys, they don't care if they go to the other show. They all want their show to be successful. They want people to go there, but we as we as sportsmen, we're the ones who really are the ones who are going to benefit the most by having this great event. I guarantee anybody who's watching this podcast right now has had a great memory of the shows.
Sure.
Whichever show that is.
Right.
Obviously the Long Beach show has always been like the granddaddy, the big show.
Yeah.
And like Bart was saying, it's probably not going to be the same as 2020, the last show that they had here.
Yeah.
But it's never going to get there unless
we support it.
Unless we support it.
And we have to.
And I guarantee it. I guarantee it 100%. If you don't go, you're going to feel like crap. I should have went.
Yeah.
I should have went. So, you should make all the effort to go. I mean, it's, he mentioned the dates. It's, late March, coming into April.
Yes.
And, put it on your calendar. Try to go take your kids. I mean, they're going to have the trout ponds there. They're going to have all the family stuff there. I don't really see a good reason not to go, honestly.
I don't either.
I mean, I'm obviously going to be there. We're going to be having a booth there, a big booth, actually the biggest booth we've ever had.
Wow.
Just trying to support the thing, I mean.
Are you selling tackle and everything?
Yeah, full array of tackle.
Awesome.
I really don't know how we're going to do it. This is crazy because we're going to do all the shows. I'm going to do the Del Mar show, so we're going to support
And
them
your
there.
store is going to be open still.
And we're going to be open, which I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but we're going to do the PCS show, support those guys, because they've been doing such a good job, and back at Long Beach because that's our home turf. We got to do it. So, I mean, honestly, a year ago I would have said, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was my answer. People would ask me all the time, well, what are you
That was
going to do?
my
What are you going to
answer.
do? I don't know. Not no, but I don't know because that was an honest answer, But now that it's getting closer, and after talking to Bart and kind of seeing what they got going on and planned, I'm like, okay, this is going to happen.
Yep.
And I think that if we do our best to try to make it the best show,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be part of that, having a booth there, I think it's going to be a fun show. I mean, I almost wish I didn't have a booth because I want to be there. I just want to experience it. I mean, and for all you guys that have done this show or been attending to the show for the last 20 years or 25 years or 40 years, I mean, why miss one?
I had long flowing hair at some of those early shows.
Yeah.
And now you know what's happened to me, right? Yeah, no doubt about it. The other one is South Coast Sport Fishing. Is that what it is?
Pacific Coast. Yeah.
Okay, I screwed that up.
Yeah,
over
it's the magazine, Pacific Coast Sport Fishing magazine.
And just so everybody out there knows, we're not playing any favorites here either.
No, I'm going to that one too.
Sent to Bill DePriest and said, Bill, you're welcome on the show. He was going to send somebody over to be on the show. And then I think he's going to be in town around February something, or I said, we'll do another one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's no need to do that.
Right. I mean, I will say this, so guys will always ask, okay, well, which one should I go to, and I think what they're asking me is which one is going to have the best deals. Well, I mean, there's going to be different things about each show. My kind of guess, this is just a guess. I couldn't really guarantee anything, but I would imagine the Del Mar show, the first one, is probably where I would go if you're looking for things that are hard to get.
Yeah.
Because they're probably going to run out. As we all know, there's still somewhat of a supply chain issue.
Yeah.
We don't have as many of some things that we would like to have.
Right.
And so if you're looking for something real particular that has been hard to get, a certain reel or a certain rod or a certain jig that's been in short supply, I think whatever's available is going to show up there.
Perfect.
And I'd snag some of that stuff. The PCS show is probably going to have more support from more manufacturers.
I think more sport fishing landings too.
More landings?
I'm thinking.
So that's probably going to be the place that if you needed to book a trip,
Yeah.
like Cedro's trip or a trip on one of the long range boats, that's probably where you want to go.
Yeah.
Also too, if let's say, Berkeley or whoever is giving up some freebies or something like that, that's probably the show that they're going to be providing them at.
Yes.
Now the Long Beach show, Bart Hall show, I would say is probably the one to go to because how we always wait till the last day to get the best deal. Well, This is going to be the last show. So all the guys who are participating at the Bart Hall show, me included, probably a little bit more motivation to try to move more stuff. So I think every show is going to have some aspect as to why you should go.
Yes.
And I think if you could, I'd go to all of them. If you're going to go to one, I mean, obviously go to the one that's closest to you, just like people have always done. But if you can, I would just try to go to all of them.
Jason Allen says hello to everybody from the Friedman Adventures family. Jason, love you. Where are you? In Alaska. I think he's a commercial guy up there in Alaska. Great guy. Tim Marquez, this will be my first Fred Hall show. Tim, drop by Sam's booth. Hopefully it'll be the day. I'll put my schedule out so you know when not to go. But I'll let you know, and I'd love to see you there. Isaac, any thoughts on what deals you should shop for on gear, tackle, or rods and reels? All the above? What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's certain things that that by just the market there isn't as much profit on.
Yeah.
So you may not see a huge discount. So if you go down there with $1,000 and say, look, I want to get the most for my $1,000 is, I would say, obviously depending on what you're missing in your tackle box. If you already have a bunch of 40-pound fluorocarbon, don't go buy a bunch of even if it's a good deal.
Right.
But typically, what you're going to find is that manufacturers will sometimes get support. So like what I mean by that is, let's say, and I don't know this because I haven't gotten any kind of correspondence from any manufacturer saying exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But let's just say that Shimano's giving free line, right? Well, I might give you a discount on the reel, and then Shimano might give the line.
Oh, gotcha.
Or maybe Akuma's giving a rod away or something like that. So I'm selling you the reel, and Akuma's giving you the rod.
Yeah.
So that might be a reason to buy it there.
Yes.
But that's if you're looking for that specific item. The other thing that I usually see the deepest discount is probably going to be fluorocarbon, jigs. So if you had a certain amount of money, that's probably what I would buy first, because those are things you're going to need.
Yeah, right.
You're going to need it through the year, and so that's probably would start there. But rods and reels, I would say that's probably another area, not necessarily because you're going to get the best price, but that's probably going to be the time of year where you're going to see the most volume of inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think after these shows, I have a good feeling that guys are going to go out there and they're going to spend some money, that we're probably going to have a shortage on some stuff like that, rods and reels. And those are the two biggest items from manufacturers that seem to have had the hardest time kind of restocking. Fluorocarbons has been pretty good. Hooks have been pretty good. Other stuff like that. Jigs have been, fairly good. But rods and reels, like I said, if you need something very specific and you saw it there, I probably would pick it up. Even though it may not be the best deal, you might be buying it just because it might be hard to get later.
Joe V. started fishing 2019, went to my first Fred Hall show in 2020, and I was blown away. I almost missed it that day because I didn't have a car. Caught the train from Pasadena, way to go, Joe, to Long Beach, and I had a really great time. Yeah, that's a
awesome.
familiar story.
It's awesome,
Yeah, can't wait. Tommy Tarr wants to know, how much of a deal are you giving at the Fred Hall show?
Best deal you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy, it's incredible. You're going to have to go to see what the deal is.
Yeah.
But are you giving deals? Or?
Yeah, I mean, if you only need one spool of fluorocarbon for the year, probably, you're not going to save any money, because by the time you get there and parking and everything else, you're not. But, the deals, even though that's something that is a big part of the show, isn't the only part.
Right.
I think if that's all you really are going for is just a few little things, financially, yeah, maybe not the best thing.
Yeah.
But I think if that's all you're going for, you're kind of missing a big part of it. The camaraderie,
yes.
the people that you meet, the amount of tackle that you're able to see. I think taking the opportunity to go to a long range booth and ask them the simplest question. If you wanted to get a straight up answer as to what's the right hook or what's the right jig, there's a million internet posts about what's the best thing.
Yeah.
But you can go right to the source. You can go right to the guy who does it day in and day out and ask him a very specific question, and he's going to have the best answer because that's what he does for a living.
Yeah.
So to me, I mean, just that part of it is invaluable for a guy who's just trying to get some information. And you may be able to see a couple things there that maybe you're checking out this reel or that reel, and you're going to have them all in one house and be able to check all that stuff out,
Yeah.
And I don't know, to me, how much more cool is it just to be around 10,000 square feet or 100,000 square feet of fishing tackle, I mean.
And people who all love it.
Yeah, if you love fishing, I think you'll love the show.
Yeah.
The deals, there are deals. I don't want to give any specific numbers, but I would say on certain things, it's probably the best price you'll see of the year,
Yeah.
for most things.
Fish Guy, will Western Outdoor News be there? Will anyone have blanks for sale? I bet you're going to have blanks, aren't you?
Yeah, we'll have blanks for sure.
Yeah.
Our
Western, I don't know about. Are they going to be there? I'm sure they are.
I would think so.
Yeah,
I would think so.
think.
Yeah. Definitely blanks for sure.
Edmund Jones. Hey, Sam. Hello, Philip. Edmund, you're number one. Thanks for tuning in. Tommy Tarr, you can take a train to the Del Mar show. That's true. Yeah, you can, right? You know what you say about everyone's on the same team? I've seen you illustrate that. When I told you, I said, hey, Sam, I was going to go over to another tackle store and do a show. You said, Phil, I'll never talk to you again. So, yeah, I love the way. Yeah, no,
we're on the same team as long as it's my team.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my God. Michael Morrison. Sam is way cooler than Phil. Hey, Mike. I won't say it. This is a family show, isn't it? Hey, Mike, is 22nd Street Landing going? You told me that I can never get a straight answer out of you. Are you guys going? We'll let you know in 1 second. Tony Gonzalez, way cooler. You're way cooler. Freaking gonna shut this show down. I'm gonna break into tears. Is that what you really want to see, huh? Hey, hit that like button. A lot of people watching because you are here tonight. That's why I invite you all the time. We don't really have a friendship. I just know that we're gonna get a lot of views when you show up.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I buy my reels. This is Arturo Jacinto. I buy my reels at Bob Sands' booth. Good discount.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff Lingle. Hey, guys. Hey, Jeff. What's happening, my friend? Fish Guy. Have not been to a hall show in 20 years,
wow.
But before then, I attended quite a few. I'd love to go again someday. Hey, we would love to see you there. I hope this is the year that you come out. And if you do, look for the day that I'm going to be there. I'd love to shake your hand and say hello over at Sam's booth for sure. Let's see. Jeff, talk to guys that fish 300 plus days a year, right? I mean, that's part of the beauty of this. Dan Smith, it was so much of a swap meet, but more educational. I like fun workshops with a bunch of great fishing folks. See you guys at Del Mar and PCS. Yeah. There you go. Dan, you're number one, man. Yeah, he's got the right attitude, right? You get to see all those people. And there's tons of seminars at both those events, right? Yeah. Isaac, as a family guy, I take the whole family.
There you go.
We have a blast. At the show, something for everyone. And he is, this guy. He's with his family in the outdoors all the time, man. A great person and a veteran. Isaac.
There you go.
Thank you for your service. Daniel Lightfoot. I know that guy, Daniel Lightfoot. I'm not a good information going on. I think he's voicing it. So a lot of good information going on.
I got you.
Yeah, got you, Dan. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. He comes down here with his grandson and fishes. Michael, what are you doing? Do your homework. Is it what is tonight? Wednesday. Yeah, he's got to do his homework.
Yeah, Tuesday.
All right, your homework's done. Don't worry about it. This is homework tonight. Dan's a great guy. Fish Guy, love the seminars and meeting other anglers.
Yeah.
I'm just, I meet so many great people now on fishing boats. You meet some jerks too.
Yeah.
You just ignore them and let them go on with their life. But most of the 99.9% of the people are great people.
Yeah.
Man, I think of Jeff Yeomans, another veteran. I think of all these guys. Really good stuff. All right. El said, I'm driving home listening to you guys, cracking up all the way. You guys are too funny. I love you. Thank you so much. Charles Zimmer, my son Charlie says he likes your videos. Charlie and I spent, you did.
Tell him to like this video.
Yeah. Hey, like this one. Hey, by the way, hit that like button, everybody. Sam and I are going to be heartbroken if we don't get to 100 by the end of this show. And we're zooming up there already, so we're doing good. Charlie, we did that IGFA, International IGFA thing. So the parents didn't go. And Charlie went, his son, and man, we had so much fun.
That's awesome.
Still love it. Michael Morrison, PCS and Bart Hall. We won't be talking about 22nd Street Landing, attending the shows anymore tonight since you're way cooler than me. Morrison. No, Mike's a good guy. And, look at another guy's coming up here. A lot of good information. We figured it out, Dan. Scott Buchard. What is Sam selling at the show? Oh, he's doing ladies' garments and high heel shoes this year, Scott. Go ahead. What are you selling at the show? Fishing tackle. Whoa, what a surprise. You kidding me? Hey, Scott, he's selling fishing tackle. So Scott's working, and they let him listen to the show at work. He's in a restaurant. But then he'll come up with, hey, I'll take the trash out. And then he goes out, and this is when he sends a message. I love this guy. Scott, you're number one. Any updates? Scott said. Yeah, I'll get to those in a moment. Dan Lightfoot. Hey, Phil, I got my homework done.
There you go.
Michael, love it. Good job. That's the most important thing, but you've got all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Fish Guy, I'm in northern Nevada. God, we got a wide audience on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. I'm so proud. It is hard to get down that way. I want to shop at Sam's shop and shoot the bull with you guys. Hey, we would love that.
Yeah.
If you ever get down this way, Sam's place just to hang out in is really a blast. I really love it. Is my office still intact?
We moved it a couple inches, but it's all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. There's a little chair I sit in up in front and greet everybody as they come in. Naughty Boy 78 Island Tackle website needs a little help.
Yeah.
I wanted to order some shirts and couldn't find anything. Big fan though. Hey, you're not the only one. My website is just, I got to get some help, you know? Sometimes when it's a one-man show, you got a lot of balls in the air. You work 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's no excuse, but I'm the same way on my website. I gotta tune that up. I hope you're listening, Ted. Ted's going to help me do that. He was a student of mine at Bishop Montgomery. Okay. I actually taught him high school, which seems so weird to me. You know, and he's like over 50 now, I think. And I'm like, wait, how did that happen? You know, that's so weird. All right, so, hey, we'll get on that, but I'm sure you'll at some point do something about that. Maybe, right?
I get guys asking me about that once in a while, and you know, the website that we have now is something that I kind of, you know, during COVID, we just kind of had some extra time, so I kind of like tried to piece something together. But I'm really more of kind of a face-to-face guy. You know,
I know you are.
We do get guys that will call us and order stuff over the phone all the time, actually. You know, especially guys from out of town.
Yeah.
A lot of repeat guys that do that, and so, you know, to me, even though it's definitely not convenient, you know, I mean, to do that, I would say that if you have a question about tackle and what you need, and you just wanted to buy something and you're from out of town, we ship all the time. T-shirts, I know would be, you know, probably not something you're going to ask a lot of questions about, but if you want a T-shirt, send me a message, you know, and that's another way that we get guys that order stuff. They'll send me messages on Facebook and on Instagram, and I usually try to respond within a day, and typically we can get taken care of them pretty quickly. So if that's something you need to do, I know it's not as convenient as having a nice website, and maybe one day I will, but for now I just try to put all my efforts in taking care of every guy who walks in the door.
Sounds good to me. Yeah. Edmund Jones, the show is great to stock up on fishing T-shirt stickers and beef jerky.
Yeah, that's another
good one. Is the beef jerky really priced well at the show? I thought it was a ripoff, but it's
that's what the beef jerky costs, you know.
Yeah, I know,
but
it's a
huge variety there.
Yeah,
it's a good place to stock up because you get all kinds of flavors, and it's good beef jerky.
Yeah, really good. That's good. Big Lee, I see things at the show that I didn't know I needed. Boy, is that a true statement, man? You didn't even think you needed it. Oh, I got to have that. Yep. Yeah, it's great, and it's going to be good. So both those shows we're actively promoting here because the last thing we need to do is drive a wedge between the people who want to go to the Fred Hall show, and that's stupid.
No.
We need, especially now, 30-30.
Especially now, yeah.
You got to stay a unit. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, stop. Right?
Yeah.
The guys
and the guys at the shows are not doing it. It's just guys.
Right.
I think it's just an adversarial type of, you know, position people take sometimes of trying to, you know, take sides. There really isn't any sides to take.
It's like these podcasts. Mm-hmm. If somebody says, I like whatever, so better than you, I'm like, oh, cool. Great. Hey, you know, I hope you enjoy it. Whatever. Yeah. You know, I'm good with that. I don't care. So yeah,
just keep watching them.
What's better, you know, if you like, you don't have to like mine, but if you like all, or you know, you don't have to pick one and go with it, unless it's Friedman Adventures, and then I'm okay with that. Yeah, pick that one. Yeah, screw those other guys. What am I talking about? Don't listen to those other jerks. Just Friedman Adventures, man. Hey, hit that like button. We're almost to 50 now. Can you believe it? All right, let's see. Edmund Jones. Edmund, Sam, I got to stop by the shop. I have something for you. This is Eddie Moreno.
Eddie.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you on.
That's a good dude right there.
That's a great guy, man. I love you, Eddie. I'm so happy that everything is going well now, and super good guy. There. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, man. I'm honored to have you watching us. Fish Guy, Will, and Abbott, EX50 wide handle, the heavy duty bluefin tuna. I need a good heavy rod for it, though. I got an I don't know why I'm reading like a moron all of a sudden. I've got an HX and LX Abbott 2-speeds also for a smaller line class.
Yeah, that 50 definitely, I mean, I don't think there's a fish that you can't catch with that. I mean, a lot of guys are using, you know, a little smaller reel, to be honest with you, but that 50 will definitely handle it. I would say if that HX happens to be a Raptor wide. Pretty good one. You know, that's the one that that name escapes me at the moment. That he got that 300-pounder.
Oh, Joe Martinez.
Joseph
Yeah.
Martinez caught that 300-pounder on an HX. It was a Raptor, so it was the heavy duty version of it. But that 50 wide, honestly, almost too big. You know, I mean, unless you're gonna troll with it, I mean, it'd be okay for trolling, would be fine, especially with these Mad Max. You gotta troll those things like 10 miles behind the boat. That having that extra line would be great. But if you're gonna be jigging, I think the reel is a little bit big. But if that's what you have,
Yeah.
go ahead and use it. But you might find if you have something that's a little smaller, it might be a little bit easier to use.
All right. You were. I'm addressing Bob Gifford out there now, an ex-fireman and a great guy.
Yeah.
I ordered your Mad Mac lures, and Sam forgot.
Sorry.
So I just want to get that on the record, so I don't.
It's
get in
me,
trouble.
not him.
Yeah, perfect. Let's see. I'm proud of you, Dan. You finally figured out technology. And Dan says, no, Michael did, his grandson. So, yeah, Dan sent me a message like the other day, and he goes, you know, we've been watching your YouTube stuff on the big TV, but Michael's at school, and I can't watch the news now. I don't know what to do. Can you help me? And I'm like, well, I don't know what to, you figure it out yourself.
Go to your neighbor's house.
Yeah, go next door, go to the bar or whatever. Or, you know, do a YouTube instructional. So I'm kidding you, Dan. I'm proud of you, too. Charles Zimmer, Sam. Do you have any hooded sweatshirts yet?
Yeah, we did get some in. I don't know if we have all sizes, but I think we're pretty good. Yeah, we did get some in, but I don't think we have all sizes. I think we might have your size there, Charles. So,
Javier Lopez wants to know if we're talking about Captain Eddie Moreno from SP, and I think we are, right?
It sounds
SP,
like it to me.
San
Yeah,
Pedro?
San Pedro, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a good friend of the Friedman Adventures family, great guy, and send you all our love, your whole family, for sure. There he is again. Much love for both of you guys. Great friends. Yeah.
There you go.
Love that guy.
He's a good dude.
Super
man.
good guy.
Yeah.
Jason Allen. And where are you, Jason? Did you put that up there? You're in Alaska, right? I have a question. What reel would you recommend for a 647 0H or XH? If I'm screwing this up, you can correct me. Fishing with 40 to 50 pound monofilament line.
Well, there's probably a few different rods that would work good with that. I mean, reels that would work good with that. Just depends on what kind of brand you're into, but anything from a Fathom 40, Torque 40. You got, I think, I don't know if you asked for a 2-speed reel, but most guys would probably start looking into a 2-speed reel, 50-pound test. You have your Talica 12, Talica 16. What else you got? Maybe a you got the Okuma Makaira, the 10 or the 15T would be good. There's quite a bit, you know. I would say start maybe if you have a preference of brand, maybe I can kind of narrow it down that way to one specific model. But any of those reels in that kind of general size, kind of a medium size reel, something like from a Talica 12 up to like maybe a Fathom or Torque 40 narrow.
Jason's up in Petersburg, Alaska, watching the show tonight. Jason, stay warm, but it's cold down here too. Not like that. Jason, good to see you here, my friend. El Cid, I live in Yucaipa and I make the pilgrimage to Island Tackle a few times a year. You know who this guy is?
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah. It's like a fisherman's cant store. Only thing tackle store. I think he's saying it's the only tackle store that had the black hole Cape Cod special blank I wanted. So obviously he's a big fan of yours.
Yep.
Says you can find anything you want. You do have a huge inventory.
Tons.
Yeah. How do you keep track of all that? I'd screw that up so bad.
We do our best.
Yeah.
We do our best.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, you sent me a photo of a kid holding a sculpin and a Boccaccio.
Yeah.
So we'll give an Eddie Leland update, another great guy. I've been with Eddie the last 2 days, yesterday and today briefly, because yesterday when I was leaving, he goes, it's been a long time since you made me a burrito, homemade burrito. So I made homemade burritos for his wife, Sue, and him. He's doing great. He's still heading in the right direction, doing really good. But the kid that sent you the photos, and I forwarded that to Eddie.
Yeah.
What was that all about again?
So that's
he worked with Eddie or
James.
something.
Yeah, James Kane. He worked with Eddie. Yeah, back. I guess it was whatever. I think it was in the messages in the 70s or something.
Yeah,
like
right,
that.
on the barge?
On the old barge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on the Mascot 4 or something like that.
Right.
So I guess he was friends with Eddie back then, and he had seen the video that you had done when Eddie was at the shop.
Oh,
talking
right.
about, the Isla Redondo.
Which,
and
thanks to
stuff
you,
like
I
that.
did that because I was sitting there listening to Eddie's stuff, and you go, "Why
Record
aren't
this,
you
man.
recording
Yeah,
this?"
this is gold, man.
Yeah.
So he saw that thing, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, Eddie, I haven't seen that guy in a long time." So he just wanted to kind of see if you can kind of forward that to him, and
I
just
did, yeah.
kind of connect with him. That's all. Yeah.
Good. I'll try to put those guys together. Maybe we
Yeah.
can get them together right here on the
Maybe,
podcast.
Yeah, James is up for it. James is a good dude. Working on the bar, that was my first job, 14 years old. And I will say that at the time, looking back, there was kind of a lot of different experiences people had working on boats. I had a great experience. The guys that were already there working, James and a couple other guys there, Mike and those guys, were really good to me as far as showing me, how to have fun but be professional at the same time. And James was one of those guys. So, basically, I've known him since I was 14 years old.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was a good dude.
So you can put me in touch with him?
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. That'll be great because I know Eddie would love to see
be
him.
cool.
Hopefully, James, you lifted his spirit. Not hopefully, I know you did.
I know
man.
you did, yeah.
He needs that, right now. He still needs that constant support. So hopefully he didn't choke on my burritos that I made him. Somebody here told me there was James, the kid that works there, he goes, "I ate that thing cold. It was the best burrito I've ever had." I did something different. I came up with I did the tortilla in butter and I seasoned the tortilla with garlic, and I just felt like trying something different. So
Gourmet.
It was crispy, and then chicken and rice and cilantro and onions and the regular deal.
You need to have like a breakfast burrito truck.
Yeah, really. Well, that's what I'll do. All I need,
$1
right?
idea.
Yeah. There's a photo that comes up here every once in a while, and it's of a guy that looks like a Larry from the Three Stooges.
Okay.
And when my kids were really small, they watched the Three Stooges 24 hours a day, and I took them to this thing.
Oh, okay.
And it was a Three Stooges thing, and they had all these guys that looked like, and I convinced them that this was the real guy. So I told them, "Hey, I'm telling you guys, be careful. Mo, he just will poke you in the eyes. He's a real jerk that way." So then they're like posing in a picture with Mo, and they're both like, "Oh crap!" He's
waiting for him to poke him in the eye.
Yeah. But there's one of Larry. And the guy looks like Larry. You guys are seeing it out there every once in a while. I'll point at it when it comes up, Sam. That guy saw that photo on my Facebook page and reached out to me and says, "Hey, I'm Larry. I'm the guy that played Larry." And in the middle of that whole thing, this limo drives up. I'm like, "Oh, I wonder, who this is coming to." You guess who gets out of the limo? Michael Jackson.
What the?
Huge Three Stooges fan.
Wow.
I didn't know that. There was Michael Jackson. It was crazy. All right. Javier Lopez, old friend of mine too. He's talking about Eddie. Glad you're doing good, Eddie. We have Alfonso Cuevas as our friend in common. Hope you remember me. Yeah, everybody loves Eddie, man.
Yeah, he's a good
Isaac, El Cid, I'm Loma Linda. We can carpool. I would like to go as well. Hey, bitchin', they're going to come see you.
Oh.
No, to see you, man.
Come on down.
I think that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Jason Allen, cool. Thanks for the info. I'm more of a person that likes a fast taper rod with some backbone for putting the pressure on the fish. So
Yeah, that's that. I think he was talking about those two rods.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Hey, hit that like button, please. What? We're stuck at 46. Come on.
It went backwards.
Let's go. Yeah, well, what's going on? Unlike Phil Friedman, guy's a jerk. Hey, you want to do another? We'll do a Hobson fluorocarbon $25 winner. All right, here's the question. What boat was I on and who was the captain in some really nasty weather the other day? Must have both the name of the boat and the captain. And I'll give you a hint if you want me to. The captain is like Methuselah. He's 118 years old, something like that. All right, should I go ahead? We're waiting. I'll ask or read another one here.
Another one.
Judith Ann, Tom
There
Durr,
it is.
540 singer, man, Jeff Yeomans. Wow, these people are really listening to these shows. I'm going to give Jeff a PhD in Freeman Adventures. Darn, and also Charles Zimmer. All right, Jeff, good job. Proud of you. Where are we now? We are, okay, I think Isaac, any tips for getting someone new into fishing? I'm crazy, and everyone asks, but I'm way out there on the gear. It's hard for me to keep simple without scaring them away. So you want to get new people into fishing?
Yeah.
I say take them on a calm day with the sun shining where they catch a mackerel.
Right.
Do you agree?
I will say this. I mean, depending on if they're, younger or something like that, or someone that's older.
That's true.
If they're younger, I will say the experience that we had with your trip that we did last year down there at
Dana Wharf.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was a really, really cool experience. A lot of short fish, a lot of stuff that we're throwing back.
Your kids had a ball. You
Kids
did
had
a great job,
time.
by the way.
It was awesome. I mean, all the kids did.
Yeah.
So if it's a kid, I think that's probably going to be one of the best ones. I took my kids on a half-day boat here, and they had a great time too on the Monte Carlo. The fishing was a little bit, scope fishing, so it wasn't as much fun as what we had down there catching those bass and barracuda.
Yeah.
But the boat was real nice. So if it's an older person that just wants a nice boat and kind of something more calm, I'd probably bring them up here. But if there was a kid, I'd probably take them down there. Both landings offer good rental equipment, so you don't really need to get into a whole lot of tackle.
Yeah.
But if you do need to buy tackle, like if you're talking, okay, well, we're going to go on an overnight boat, what kind of tackle do you need? There's plenty of good options in a pre-made combo, like spinning combo, $100 to $150.
Yeah.
That'll catch a yellowtail. It'll catch all the yellowtail you want, white sea bass, halibut. And so even though, we're all talking here, we all have nice rods and reels, some of the stuff $1,000 or something like that. You're not going to get a guy to spend all that money right away. But if he's new, he probably is not going to be getting a conventional reel anyway. Get him a nice spinning outfit. And there's Penn makes a lot of good stuff. Daiwa makes a lot of good stuff, and you're going to be in that $100 to $150 range. And I guarantee that stuff it'll probably catch a 50-pound bluefin, no problem. I mean, even for $150. So I don't think you have to spend a ton of money. I mean, yeah, $150 is still $150, and if that's even going to be a little tough, there's plenty of rental gear too. So don't shy away from that. But I would say if you're going to buy some tackle, that's probably what you're going to spend. And if you want to come down to the shop, we'll show it to them. We'll show them exactly what it is. And there's a few options there, like I said, between $100 and $150, and that'll get them by.
Perfect. Ruben Lopez. Hey, Ruben, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for dropping in. Just a hello. I miss seeing both you guys at your shop last time I came by. Ruben Lopez, a super good guy. And Jeff got the right answer. Tony Gonzalez, I know. I don't know if he's making reference to. Do you know what he's making reference to?
Oh, he knows.
Yeah, he knows. Tony, I know too. Let's keep it between us. Isaac, chop, let's go. Yeah, Tom Durr, he was on the stern of his boat, and the diver was fixing something down below, diving. And the diver and I were BS, and he comes out, he's like, chop, come on, get to work. Quit talking to this guy. When Scott Bucher was working for Tom, I was like, he was trying to screw something in, so I was tickling and pulling the hair on his legs. And Tom yells at me, he goes, will you leave him alone? Let him work. I was having too much fun. I don't know whether I enjoyed messing with Scott more or getting Tom mad.
Yeah, getting riled up.
It was kind of a win-win deal. Ethan Jackson, how early do we expect the white sea bass to come into the shallows?
What do you think, next week? 2 weeks?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, maybe?
Yeah. Good question.
Generally, that stuff comes in with the squid.
With the squid and the 60-degree water.
Yeah, a little warmer water. I mean, this weather event that we've had probably gonna slow them down a little bit, but that stuff's in the kelp most of the year. I mean, the customers that I have that spearfish as well, they kind of see that stuff all year long. They may not be biting, so that's a different question. When's it going to be there? When's it going to bite? And that warmer water does kind of like kind of activate them a little bit more to be able to rod and reel capture, but they're there.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably March, April, depends on the wind and water temperature and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, typically March is kind of like where you first start seeing some scores,
But some people are surprised, if you agree with me, the best sea bass fishing, the month is going to be June, July.
Yeah.
Even August. The water's warm, and guys like Sean on the Pride, man, he's a good fisherman on that stuff.
Well, I mean, that's, again, one of those things, too, through back in the United Anglers days, that all the work that they did with the sea bass hatcheries and all that kind of stuff, those are the types of things that produce this great fishery.
Right.
I mean,
those are the kind of things that make a difference, not shutting down.
Right. And that's been documented that program really has produced it, along with getting rid of gill nets.
Yeah.
So in conjunction, those two things, that's a real management. And so that we have had probably the best sea bass fishing here locally in the last 5 years.
Oh my God!
And, I mean, no one's ever seen this kind of sea bass ever.
Exactly.
So I mean, that stuff's going to come early, but yeah, it seems to come on strong, maybe more in June, July.
Right. If you'd like a list of the Friedman Adventures charters for this year, we just added an Apollo trip out of San Diego, out of Seaforth, just send me a text to 657-227-6459. Hit that like button, please. Share our videos with others if you enjoy them. And I thank you so very much for helping us to continue to grow and grow and grow. So Joe V says, take them fishing for spotted bay bass and teach them the importance of catch and release. Very nice, Joe. I like that. The spotty tug will get any new fisherman hooked. I think that's sage advice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's another good thing to do, right? And catch and release is really important, right?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Very good. We should mention, just before we go too much further, there's been some good yellowtail action down there at Collinette. The Pegasus had 22 yellows and a bunch of rockfish.
Yeah, I saw your report on that.
Then further down, San Quintin area. And for those of you not familiar with the geography, so we're talking Collinette, 120 miles below the Mexican-American border, and then another 20 miles down at 140 miles is San Quintin. And those guys down there fish San Martin Island, but there's all kinds of nice coastal pinnacles and rocks. They fish there. They've had steady fishing on nice yellows, on the yo-yo iron. So you get to wintertime, man, and Mexico becomes really attractive because, and you can do that two ways. You can drive across and go fish with blackfin or Diego Nuno out of Costa Baja, or our friend Arnie, who's always watching our show and eating palomitas, popcorn. You can do that, or you can jump on a San Diego base boat and shoot across the border and do it that way. And they're, in fact, like the Premier is doing extended half-day trips now, Monday through Friday. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So rockfish season is closed, but since we live so close to our brothers and sisters, hermanos y hermanas in Mexico, you can still go rockfishing.
You can still get some rockfish,
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I love it. I love fishing down there. You do too.
Really good, yeah. It's fun.
And let's see. Sam's the man, my go-to shop, says Warzone. Warzone. Do you know him?
I'm sure he says
sometimes you don't know the handle on there.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I agree. I love your shop, man. It's
Thanks.
a really, really fun place to go, and I always learn something when I'm there for sure. Israel, I heard they closed the white sea bass hatchery down in Long Beach.
I think it's. I thought it was still going in
Huntington Beach?
Yeah.
I think it is there, Israel, but I'm not positive on that. Hey, somebody asked me, and I didn't have the answer to this. Maybe you do. Is Guadalupe Island closed for good now? Are you hearing?
It's closed currently. I mean, closed for good.
I mean, for no more permits, no more nothing. It's just done. It's just doing white shark research. I forget who sent me that message, and I said, I'm woefully ignorant on this subject. I'll look into it. So I turn to you.
Yeah, I saw a post about that. I think it was a dive operation. I think it was actually one of the boats that goes down there to San Diego had made a post about that being the case, and that's one of the things right now that at the moment we really can't say how long it's going to be closed for, but at the moment, not that we're going to go to Guadalupe in January, but at the moment it's not available to go. Yeah, at the moment. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that a little bit more. I'm going to be in Ensenada for a fisheries meeting at the end of the month. And so I'll talk to all those guys down there and see what they have to say. That would be interesting, to say the least. Fish Guy, I remember getting United Anglers shirts when signing up at the Hall show and won memberships, Western Outdoor News memberships. Yeah, those are great memories, no question about it. Worm King Swim Baits.
Wow.
You know who that is? It's a guy named, he gave his real name the other day. He always goes by Fish. I couldn't even, I'm going to write what's your real name, by the way? But Fish, he's a great guy. Super good guy. He'll be at the Fred Hall show. I'll get more information. I'm going to drop by his booth and spend some time, scare customers away. So, Worm King is a real thing again. Mike Trunk, yes, it is closed for good now. That's sad.
I mean, closed for good to me, I think the verbiage is kind of like a little off. I mean, that's basically saying it's never going to be open again. And that's a possibility. But I don't think anything is forever, open or closed.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Charles Zimmer!
You got it.
1999. Chuck, thank you so much. That means a lot to us here. Sam and I can go out to dinner tonight, right? Chuck, thank you so much. We'll see you Thursday night at the Redondo Rod and Gun Club, 2023 Vanderbilt Lane. You're all invited. Come on out, hang out with Sam and I. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a potluck. So you can bring a dish. If you don't feel like doing that, stop by and buy a pie or go to Costco and get a pumpkin pie or whatever, or make something. If you don't feel like doing that, bring a $5 bill and you can dine on venison chili with the guys. They're doing
Wow.
that. That sounds good, doesn't it? I'm gonna hit that with some hot sauce.
Yeah, man.
Fire it up. It's gonna be good.
That's a good food last time we went. That was.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They always do.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun, and we're doing our raffle. You can buy raffle tickets, or you can just watch. We'll pick somebody in the audience.
Open to the public. Anybody can go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I confirmed
So
that many times.
this
I didn't
is a-
want to have a bunch
yeah.
of people. Hey, this
These
is
guys, yeah.
No. So yeah, we're good there. So that sounds good. All right. Naughty Boy 78. Sam, how did you get into selling tackle? What's your favorite lure or iron of all time? I'm going to say you're going to say the pep jig.
That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty. I would say a surface iron would probably be a Tatty 45.
It's hard to beat, right?
Hard to beat. Yeah.
Is there one of those behind me?
There's a couple.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
There's a couple less than before. I think some guys have taken.
Yeah, I did too. You know, Brian on the Monte Carlo, he comes in here a lot. And
Yeah, you might
he's
be
like,
short a jig there.
he always says like, "Hey, look, do you see that weird bird over there?" And like, there's no bird in here. And then you turn around, and he's
Disappeared.
missing a couple jigs.
It's
So
actually a nice one right there. Yeah.
keep your hands off it. So what was it? Your
How
favorite
to
jig
get
of all
into-
time, Tatty 45.
Yeah.
How did you get into selling tackle?
Well, I mean, like I mentioned before, my first job ever was working on the Redondo fishing barge, and so, not that we were selling tackle, but I mean, it's a dream job for a kid, 14 years old. Out of high school, in college, I worked over at Turner's. It was kind of, I don't know, I thought it was like a dream job back then too. Being around fishing tackle all the time. So I've been doing it for a long time. Out of high school, it must be at least 5-6 years ago right now.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
But
How time
but
flies.
yeah, 30 years ago, when I first started doing this, and I've just always enjoyed. I've been a big fan of tackle in general, and so to me, I've been in the fishing tackle business for a long time in different ways. And 8 years ago, starting a family, kind of came to a point in which if I was ever going to do it, that was going to be the time.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just went for it. I took the leap, and lucky for me, it was the beginning of the most epic fishing period in the
Man,
history.
you hit it right, didn't you?
Yeah, I was just so lucky, So I've been very, very lucky in that respect, But that's really the reason was my kids, being born, or about to be born, and just as a note, which is kind of crazy, the day I opened my tackle shop, my son was born the next day. So I mean, I was under the gun for sure. I had to make it happen. So
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
Nothing
motivation.
like a little motivation.
A little bit
Exactly.
of motivation to kind of do it.
For
so.
sure. JC, forgot the handle shows, LOL. It's JC, the Audi dealer.
JC, yes.
No, does JC fix Lexuses? I got an
No,
old.
only Audis. Yeah.
You're talking about doing stuff on your phone, like signing up, getting your fishing. You know what I did during the football game last night? I filed my federal income tax.
On your phone.
Of course, when you're below the poverty level, it's quick. You made how much? How are you surviving? Yeah, I actually did. When it got out of hand, Brady was playing like crap, and I was just like, hey, I'll go to TurboTax. And I, filed. So there you are. Jason Allen, I hear that Guadalupe Island is closed permanently. The Mexican government shut it down to protect the great white shark populations. Have you heard about this information? Yeah, it sounds like we're getting confirmation. Yeah. You've heard it. Other people are telling me. So yeah, that sounds right. Dan Bates, thank you, Dan. Dan made a contribution to the Friedman Adventure Show. Really, seriously, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so very much for your support. Thank you, Chuck. You guys are really awesome. Rick Slater, what happened to Mojos and Scampies? Well, Butch Chapman was Did you know Butch Chapman?
No.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. I know of him, but I never knew him personally.
I have a video that I did fishing Mojos with Butch Chapman and Nick Curcione.
Wow.
I could dig that up probably.
That's a pretty cool video.
That should be a funny little thing to put up.
I'd watch it.
So Butch, I don't know what happened. And Scampy, what do you know? There's Larry. Oh, you missed it.
As far as the brands, I don't know, but I mean those types of lures are still around.
Yeah.
We sell them a twin tail lure. I mean, they're still around as far as a product, but those guys obviously they're not doing any kind of business anymore. So yeah, the brand, I know those are gone.
Yeah,
I think
All right, Michael, MJM, happy Taco Tuesday, Phil and Sam. Hey, Sam. While my gear is hanging up, I'm looking to get reels tuned up, cleaned, and ready for this coming season. Does Island offer this service? If so,
sure.
See you soon.
Yeah, for sure. That's something we're doing full speed here this time of year, and it's the best time to do it. Most times
Yeah.
you don't look at your gear until 2 days before your trip, and typically, what's going to happen is if you do that, you're going to need a part that we got to order, and Dai was out of it, and now you're down a reel. So
Yeah.
do it now in the off season when we got time, and make sure that it's ready to go. Once it's done, you don't have to do it again.
Yeah.
Before your trip, it'll be good, the rest of the year. So I would say bring it in now. That's the best time.
Sounds good. By the way, Danny Cadota's show Thursday. He's got a great show for you, but it won't be live. It will be recorded because Danny's going over to the Rod and Gun Club. Nice. So that should be good.
Is this thing running out of energy here? I heard something weird.
Some weird noise, yeah.
All right. Danny will be there. You're going to be there. Brian Wynn's going to be there.
Oh, nice.
Brian is doing a thing where you go to a cigar lounge and you smoke a cigar and talk fishing. He's doing it tomorrow. I don't have... Brian, are you listening? If you're listening, give us... It's in Torrance tomorrow.
Okay.
If you go to my Facebook page, Friedman Adventures on Facebook, I've got the address and everything up there. But Brian's nuts about cigars. And so I went to it with him to a cigar lounge. I don't smoke. So I don't, I don't care if somebody's smoking a cigar
You're not
next to me.
anti-smoking, you just don't smoke.
So I met really nice people and had a good time. It was fun. I'd do that again. So tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'm doing, but if I have time, I'll drop by. I love supporting Brian because he's a great guy.
He's a good dude,
Yeah, he'll be there at the Redondo Rod and Gun Club. So Sam, Philip, Brian, Danny Cadota, and I hope a whole bunch of you. It'll be a lot of fun. Come on out and meet some really great folks. Okay, I used to love the Cancor and Kunan selection of rods in Turner's in the 80s. Also bought an Alvi reel from Riverside location and Worm King swim baits. Are you listening to that, Fish? Yeah, good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Jason Allen, does Sam deal with consignment reels in the store?
We do. Yeah. Definitely do. I mean, it's something that guys, sometimes come in and look for. At the moment, we kind of have a lot of stuff in there, but if you're looking to buy something, we definitely got a good selection. If you're looking to sell something, we're pretty full, depending on what you have. We may or may not have room for it, but we deal with it for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Israel, Phil, his meetup just got postponed. Whose meetup?
Maybe Brian's? I don't know.
Oh, it did. Okay, thank you so much, Israel.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe Brian is not doing that. Perfect. Thank you so much.
To maybe specify who's
meetup. Israel. Just specify who he is, in case we're losing our minds. Albert Ponce. I asked him, what do you prefer? And he said, I don't care. Great guy. Have you met? Oh, no, you haven't. You got to meet him. He's a super great guy. His wife, his kids love me, so they're going to need psychiatric evaluations later in life. But Albert, it's so good to see you. And Crystal and the kids, I love you guys so very much. He's got a place in Rosarito. He's the guy that, hey, anytime you want my place in Rosarito.
Okay.
And I stayed there, man. It was beautiful.
Yeah, so that's the guy I met down there at Dana Wharf. Is it the same guy?
Yeah. Super great guy. Yeah. Love you. Yeah, we got to get together, too. We're going to talk some business together, so we got to do that, Albert. Thanks for tuning in, as always. Jaime Castro. Hi, guys. Good show. Is it possible to see Dorado again next summer?
Of course it's possible. I mean,
anything is possible, Jaime.
But what we had, as far as volume, I don't know, man. That was historic. So I wouldn't want to guarantee anything like that. But typically, I mean, Dorado does show up, to some degree every year.
Yeah.
Typically. So as to how much or where you're going to have to go to get it, I don't know if we're going to get any on the half-day boat next year, but...
Let me tell you. You want me to make it happen?
I
can do it. Jaime.
You'll never see it again.
Will never be another Dorado in Southern California waters for as long as we live. Never. You'll never see them again.
Buy a Dorado.
Wide open Dorado next year, right? Yeah. That's how my albacore predictions go. Brian, okay, so Brian is postponing tomorrow's event. Brian, thanks for letting me know. Here I am plugging your stuff. Jason Allen up there in Alaska. Cool. Do you have the consignment reels on your website that show what you have in stock? Oh, now we're getting in trouble again with the website.
Stuff. Yeah.
So he can call you and ask, what do you have?
Yeah, and if calling is kind of hard, maybe you're at work or whatever, send me a message on social media, kind of what you're looking for, and I'll let you know what we have that's in that category,
Yeah, perfect. You want to do another one of these? I didn't even write down a fourth one.
That's a good question.
There's the question right there, the next one.
And the answer.
I do have one more. All right. Hey, my albacore prediction, you're going to have to hang on. I have Bob Osborne. Honestly, he actually goes through, I mean, he spends like hours and hours and hours poring over these predictions that are a
Why is he
bust
doing
every
that?
single. Yeah, I
He
know.
should just ask you.
You know what we ought to do? We should get like a monkey or whatever to throw a dart. and then I'm going to do that. I'm going to find some way to like get a chicken to do whatever thing he eats out of.
Yeah.
That's a good. Hey, you fish guy, you come up with something that's really great. Javier Lopez. Now that you said that Phil the albacore can show up, yeah. Maybe right. I should. Albacore, they're extinct. This is ridiculous. There's no more albacore. They're like snipe. Are you kidding me? What happened to the albacore bet between you and Mike?
Oh yeah.
Did we have an I thought we had a
you had to jump off the dock.
Do I?
Yeah, they didn't
my
show
God.
up. Somebody had to jump off some dock.
Yeah, I thought Mike predicted a 400 pound. Hey, Morrison, he's back playing with his kids probably, but I thought it was a 400 pound bluefin. Mike said there definitely would be one. I said no. And then some guy called in and said, or he said, you said a 300 pounder, which Joe Martinez screwed
Whatever
me
the
up
bet
on.
was, I think you got to jump in the water.
Oh my God, thanks. Yeah. All right, here's a question for you all. Who calls me and complains when I do the morning briefing from my car? Somebody calls me a wimp and a wussy, says that I'm useless.
Would you do it in the rain or something?
Yeah, it's raining or too windy and you can't hear it. So,
Man up.
Mike Trunk, that's close enough. Bucher.
Bucher. Yeah.
Scott Bucher. Yes. Travis Bright. Mike got you on that one, but we'll take that. That was close enough. That is true. Oh, by the way, Scott put a thing up there a second ago, and let me see here. Mike Trunk. He has. I'm serious. He put I went over it. He has golf clubs for sale.
Mike does?
No, Scott Bucher.
Scott Bucher?
Yeah, so
Great.
well, obviously. Oh, and Jeff Yeomans asked if he settled his bets up with me yet on betting on games all the time. He calls me constantly. You must bet with me, Scott. Give me your phone number. I have your phone number in my phone, but I don't have my phone during the show. So give me your phone number. If anybody out there want some used golf clubs? I think $125. This is stupid on a fishing show, isn't it? Anyway.
It's winter.
Oh, yeah, it's winter time, man. Hit that like button. The next guy who hits it and gets the 60 likes, you know what you're going to get? Absolutely nothing. Isaac, $20 bill.
There you go, buddy.
Isaac, appreciate it, man. Thank you so very, very much. Really appreciate all of you who support us by watching the videos, by subscribing, by sharing the videos, by hitting that like button, and every once in a while, by contributing financially. I know all of you can't do that, but those of you who do and can, we really want to express our gratitude to you all. So that yellowtail bite down there at
Calling it.
does that suggest anything? Do you think if guys went to the Coronado Islands, a yo-yo and an iron right now, they might catch them?
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that stuff down there is kind of more residential fish down there. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can probably go there most times of the year and have a shot at a yellowtail.
yeah.
Calling that area.
Yeah. Isaac says, guys, great show. Go get some drinks with your dinner. Hey, what did you have? Chicken wings?
Yeah.
That look good. Did you have one left over for me?
I got a couple, yeah.
Oh, can I have one?
Of course.
Are they spicy?
A little bit, not too
Oh
bad.
man, I would like them fired up.
Yeah, they're not super hot. They're
I went to a place over here on, I forget the name of it, some pub, Bob Gifford and I, and the guy goes, "You want them like super hot?" And I go, "Sure." And so he comes out and he looks at me and he goes,
Are you
"Man,
sure?
I don't know about this." And he goes, I watched them make them. They're brutal. And I go, "Yeah, give them, no problem."
Yeah.
I
No,
ate
yeah.
that. I lived in southern Mexico.
Yeah.
I sat there and they'd have like a pepper. Well, I don't even know what it was.
Oh, you were telling me about that. Yeah.
I cried uncle like 2 seconds, and the Mexican guys I'm with are. They
the big
did
deal?
like 14 of them, and I'm like took a little bite. So I'm not that brave, but and the Chinese hot pot in Sichuan, which is a little different spice, kind of numbs your mouth.
Yeah.
You know that stuff.
Yeah.
I love that too. That was bitching. That was really cool. All right, thank you so much, Isaac, for your kindness and generosity. Really appreciate it. Charles Zimmer, if everyone sends in $20, will Phil jump off the dock?
Yes.
Yeah, like 100 people.
One more.
$2,000.
One more maybe at least, yeah.
Hey, Chuck, what are you trying to do to me here?
$20 off the dock, another $50 off the house of one of the boats.
Chuck's our drone guy now. He'll have to fly a drone.
There you go.
I'm not so worried about jumping in, although I'm a little worried about that. It's getting out. That's
Gaff you out of there.
that is for sure, man. Chuck, thanks, man. All right, Israel, any cooking videos coming up soon with Chef Jason? I got to talk to Chef Jason about that. We need to do some more cooking videos for sure. I should do my famous new burrito recipe that Eddie Leland was so crazy about. Yeah.
You're going to bring me one of those.
I know. I made them for you guys, but I've improved them now. I think the seasoning of the tortilla has taken it to a brand new level. Yeah. You're doing good, by the way. You've lost a lot of weight, haven't you?
I'm trying.
Are you doing keto?
No, just eating a little bit better and exercising every day, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Walking or what?
Treadmill. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah. So.
You know, the one thing I've never done and I need to do is lift weights. That is like so, because, well, here, I don't know, I want to get into this, but your body's repairing the muscle after you lift, so you continue to burn.
Right.
So you go for a walk and you stop walking, that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to do that. I just find it so freaking boring.
It is, but you have to do it.
My son Patrick, I mean, he can lift and lift and lift, so he's found a way to make it interesting. So I don't know, maybe I can listen to a podcast or something.
Yeah, podcast, I don't know.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. Joshua Hernandez, Mike Morrison said someone from his landing would catch a tuna over Oh, God, I love you, Joshua. I freaking don't have to jump in, and I'm going to kiss Joshua when I see him. That guy just saved my life. Morrison has to jump in. Mike Morrison said from his land would catch a tuna over 400 pounds last year, and they didn't. He would strip to his boxers. This guy, I love this guy, and jump off the Freedom on New Year's. We're still waiting. Joshua, start a campaign. Start getting signatures.
But another $20 and you jump in too.
Maybe. Not 20. It's got to be, come on. Joshua, you're number one. Happy New Year. Javier Lopez, you jumping off the dock will up your views. Well,
it would.
Now I might do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might jump in with Morrison, but I'm not going to get in my underwear because that'll make people throw up. I don't want to do that to him. Hey, that's great. There it is. Joshua Hernandez just saved my butt. Don't forget, Tom Durr, this Saturday, whale watch trips. Call him, wake him up, pester him all night long, right? 310-877-1257. So he's got the Judith Ann. I think he can take like 8 people. I know 6 for sure. $600. Thing goes 25 knots. You're out there on a whale before you know it. You go with your family and friends. It's way better. I mean, I would think, right? Yeah. And you know what's cool? You go up top. I'm pretty sure he lets people go up there. I went up there, almost died when I was going to tell you that story. You go up top and you got a bitchin' view, man, and you can see it. You know what? We were in that crappy, before we got in that really crappy weather, we were sitting off in Sydney, and I looked out, I swear to God, I looked out and Catalina looked like a wave, and there were white clouds, so it looked like
yeah.
And I go, what the hell is that? And he goes, what? And I go, what is that, a freaking tsunami? Seriously? And he goes, that's Catalina, you idiot. I go, oh, God, that looked weird to me. So we're coming in, and I joked with Tom. I go, you ought to go in there by Furman and get us in that rough weather. That'd be a bitchin' video. So he goes in there, and I was up top. So and he's just downstairs going, hee-haw! And I'm thinking, he knows what he's doing. Either he knows what he's doing,
or he doesn't know what he's doing.
No, I know he knows what he's doing, but he's 80 years old, and he's like, I'm going out in a blaze today. I'm taking, too bad I got to take Phil with me, but that's life.
Like the Forrest Gump movie, the guy up on top there.
Yeah, exactly.
Going for it, yeah.
And at one point, I'm looking over at Furman, and these combers are coming in. Man, you get sideways on one of those, you're screwed.
Yeah, you're done.
And I hear him expletive downstairs, and then he turns it into it, and there's 6 freaking combers, and they're white. The white water, like the 6th one is doing that, and I'm like,
oh man,
we are so effed right now. And we go, it was funny, man. 2 old men like just doing stuff none of you should be doing. That is for sure. I think Javier's right, though. Hey, hit that like button almost to 70. You can go home when we hit 100. Actually, we're going to let you go before that. So you mentioned, or somebody asked the question, fixing your reels in the off season. Any other advice people can do in the off season, which
I mean,
is
just check your gear. I mean,
would be more specific. What do you mean by that?
check your guides. Make sure that they're all good.
How do you do that?
Back in the day, they used to talk about running a pantyhose through them or whatever. But typically, if you run your Spectra,
I'm gonna have to ask Scott to use his pantyhose now. Yeah.
You run your Spectra across all of the guides. Just usually it'll be something real obvious, like a chip or something like that. A lot of times in the tip, because that's what's going to be hitting the ground the hardest. Check your guides there. Check your hooks. Make sure that they're not all getting rusted up.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Organize your tackle. Now, one of the things I do hear a lot of guys tell me is that they'll come to the shop and they'll buy something, and then the next day they're like, "Oh man, I already had that size." So organize your tackle. Make sure that coming into the show time, you know what you need to buy. You're gonna go see a bunch of stuff, and you need to buy size 1/0s and 3/0 hooks or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So have a good game plan of what you need. Make a list of what you need, and coming up to the shows, you'll know what you need. All your reels. The reels is the biggest thing because there's a lot of moving parts. If you notice anything, and even if you're not sure whether you need to have a full service done to it, I mean, obviously the best thing to do is just have it serviced so you don't have any kind of concerns. But if you just want to have us look at it and say, you know what, this is probably okay, especially if it's just going to be like a general use rock caught reel or something like that, you may not need to have it serviced. Bring them in and we'll take a look at them, But I always say bringing your reels to get service is probably the biggest thing, and just organize your tackle. I mean, it's pretty simple. Really. I don't know how much more I can go into.
No, that's good. No, that sounds good. Naughty Boy 78. I'm looking into buying a radar for a 20-foot trophy, but they are so expensive. Do you recommend anything that way, or?
I don't have a boat, so
I should get one of these guys to come on here to do a podcast about that.
Once again, the shows. I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Bart Hall's doing the first show he's doing. I think coming up like this weekend or whatever, the boat show.
Yeah.
So he's got one going at I think Pomona Fairgrounds or something like that.
Who does?
Bart Hall.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
how come he's not promoting? I don't hear him promoting.
I thought he did. You weren't listening or something.
Oh,
like
really?
Yeah.
Oh, thinking my next question.
Yeah. No, but if you look on the Bart Hall show's website, you'll see it, and that would be a good place to go look and ask. And they'll probably have something real specific for your boat and your size of boat. But if you don't make it there and just want to go down to the Long Beach show or even the PCS show, you're going to have representatives there of all the brands, and I'm sure you'll find somebody there that'll probably help you out with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're winding down, folks. So if you have a question for Sam before he starts munching out on those chicken wings again, and I get one from him, ask your question. We're totally enjoying being with you all tonight. Great response from all of you. Wonderful questions from the Friedman Adventures family as usual, and providing us with great information on Guadalupe Island and so much more. So really, really good stuff. And I just wrote another question down for the $25.
Alrighty.
Something came into my head, so we'll be asking that in 1 second. So Jason Allen, he's a Baja file. He loves Baja. He loves Mexico, and my feelings and yours too. Wants to know, does Sam ever get a chance to head down to Loreto or Los Barriles, Baja to fish?
I haven't.
You haven't been to either one of those places?
I haven't, no.
Oh, my God.
I'd love to go, yeah.
They're both bitching.
Yeah.
What is the name of that place? There's a place in Laredo that's outside of the main town, and it's a really nice resort. And when I was doing a Spanish language radio show here in LA, they invited us down. So my wife and I and Joaquin and his wife, we all went down there. Wow. Palmas or... I wish I knew.
Palmas de Cortez?
People. No, that's
down below,
Los
yeah.
Barriles. Yeah, and that's a great place too. I love Palmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That place in Laredo. I like Laredo. I love the mission there because it's one of the original missions. Misión de Nuestra Señora de Loreto, I think is the name of it. It's so old and ancient, and I love that historic kind of feeling. It makes me, think about the whole history of Mexico and how interesting that is. But it's just kind of I don't really like Cabo anymore that much. Fishing's great down there. Pisces Fleet, great people. Sean Morgan's down there doing his thing. But I don't know, you don't get the feeling it's Mexico anymore.
It's a different experience, I'm sure.
Which is cool. You want to go down there and party and have a great time?
Yeah.
It's great. But I still like that, small Mexican town. You're walking down the street and you meet one of the locals and chat them up, a kid or, whoever. So, yeah, two different experiences, but actually Los Barriles is still kind of that small town. Beautiful, walking down the beach there. When the fleet would come in, like if it was a day when we got in early or we didn't fish that day, my kids knew a lot of the guys, so they'd come in and they'd go, "Hey, Felipito," and then they'd throw a live bait. And so then they take it and then cast and they're onto a rooster fish in the surf. And it's really a great place. Really, really love it there. Sam, do you carry Nature Boys jigs at your shop?
I don't.
What are they? I don't even know what they are.
It's a knife jig. It's a Japanese thing. I mean, they're kind of one of the hot items there. I mean, but I think they're a smaller company. Most of the guys who get them, they get them direct from them on their, I think on Amazon or something like that. But they're pretty cool jig. We actually did rig up a lot of them up last year, and it's a nice heavy duty jig. And I know they're pretty effective for the guys that are doing the speed jigging, the vertical jigging.
Yeah.
I know a lot of those guys like those jigs.
I know Israel, who just asked that question. He's going to be on our trip on the Apollo. That's September 7th, fishing the 8th. And a couple other guys. Travis is going to be on there. So that should be a fun. You ought to go on. You haven't been on one of our trips yet, have you?
I haven't, no.
Yeah, you got to go. You got all kinds of time on your hands with these shows and, oh my God, kids and family and everything else. Axel Ram 5510. Sam, you guys carry black leader line? Question mark.
And I got some 400-pound that I got in there just for guys that are that need it for their spear fishing guns, but not that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Where is Brandon, the corpse, tonight? The corpse has not asked one question. He explained to me that he went to Boise State University and that they taught him in the English department to put a question mark after a word if you want to draw attention to it, which was, so he'll randomly put a question.
Okay.
Like, what the hell? They ought to fire those people at that place. What the hell? Like he'll put Sam, question mark. And then I'm like, what are you doing? You know why he got that nickname, the corpse?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the sheet over him. He did look like he was a dead guy. All right. We do have another question because we're getting ready to wrap it up, and I don't want to. I want to keep this going. I want to get up with some more likes. Hit that like button, please. We really appreciate it. Oh, but we're 100 minutes in here. So another 20 minutes, we got 2 hours under our belt, and then they're going to start winding up there.
Yeah.
Just keep your shirt on up there, Janelle and Tony. We're going to, well, Janelle, maybe not. No, I'm just kidding. We'll get out of here on time. Sam's got to get home to his family. He just retracted the message. Anything else you want to say?
I did see a question back here you missed.
Oh, thank you.
Jason Allen asking about new reels.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think we do have some in the consignment case there. I'll have to kind of see tomorrow what we have in the case. And then Albert Ponce said...
I don't want to miss a question from my buddy Albert.
He says, hey guys, I have a dumb question. So if Rockfish is closed here in the Great USA, but you go fishing in Mexican waters, how does the possession law affect one once back? I think it's the same as like any other fishing down there, that they have it's some paperwork that's involved, and then there's an allowance for that. Yeah. So
that's a good question because I don't know the answer.
I mean, definitely, I think you'd be in trouble like if you were on your own boat and fished the Coronados and got some rockfish, and then came up and then fished, up here. I think that if you show that you were fishing down there, you'd probably be okay. I don't want to say that that's the case for sure, but obviously those boats have that figured out. I mean, the San Diego boats do.
Yeah. Anybody know that answer? Any San Diego captain watching or somebody from Fish and Game, that would be Fish and Wildlife, that would be great. Because, you can go down to Mexico and catch a 200-pound black sea bass.
Right.
But you come pulling into San Diego with that thing, you got to have some kind of paperwork.
That's where you caught it,
We should know that. We are remiss in not having the answer to that question. Remind me to get the answer to that, Sam.
I think John's got the answer there.
Really? I read that all of you have to do is show that you have a Mexican fishing license.
I mean, like I said, I don't know what the exact
ruling is. Is that true, John?
I don't know if the exact ruling, but like I said,
because then unethical people are like, hey, let's get a Mexican fishing license and go kill them at La Jolla.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something else you got to do. Maybe you're right, John. I'm not sure about that one. Any thoughts on these new? Oh, we're not getting out of here anytime soon. Isaac, any thoughts on these new speed jigging reels? These upside down conventional reels I've been seeing.
I think that's a jigging reel that is a different style. I did see some pictures of it. I really don't know that much about it, but it's basically a conventional reel that's that's designed to be used on the bottom of the rod instead of the top, and it's got the handle on the left side, so
Yeah.
you wind it like that. But I don't really have any thoughts on it, honestly. I've never used one, so I couldn't really comment on it.
I'm jumping down below for a second, then I'm going to go back up. But John said he read that on the Fish and Game website. So, okay, that sounds good, John. Thank you. Appreciate that very, very much. Jason Allen, have a good night, Phil, Sam, and Friedman Adventures. Great show. And guest tonight. Yes, he's way cooler than me. Still hurts. The answer is literally on their website. Okay, there you are.
Question
Okay.
mark.
Yeah. Is there? No. The whatchamacallit's back, the corpse.
Yeah.
Fish guy. I fished out of, somewhere in Puerto Escondido before it changed. Puerto Escondido is in the state of Oaxaca, in Mexico Lindo. And let's see, how do you pronounce that? Tripui, right? Is that how you pronounce it, the Spanish? Tripui. Tripui. Yeah, it's got to be Tripui. I think I know this. Yeah, I met him at a meeting, and he's going to come on here and do a whole thing. He spent 13 days fishing the Oaxacan coast and said,
"Oh, nice."
It was. You know what he said? And I know this used to work. Like when we catch an albacore, we put our hand over the eye, and they'd stop beating the deck up.
Yeah.
They just stop. He said that they caught Dorado down there. They were beating the hell out of the boat, and a kid that was running the ponga he was on said, "Walk over and put a black rag over the Dorado's eye." Done. No more. Never beat the crap out of it. Never did any of that. Just put a black rag over its eye. This is pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Leave it to those frickin' guys down there. Are so resourceful, man. Yeah. I love those guys. There's always something cool like that. I think I hate to break your
streak here.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody's here. One thing, though, whoever that guy was, I forget who it was that came through with the Mike Morrison thing. Morrison, you are screwed. And I'm vindicated. I don't have to Joshua, I don't have to do anything about that. So if you don't have any more questions, hit that like button. Sam, it is always good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, Phil.
Anything else you'd like to say to the folks out there? Look in there, and you want to invite them to come to Island Fishing Tackle.
Come to the shop.
Visit you at the shows.
Go to the shows. Join CCA. Yeah, I'm gonna urge Phil here to maybe put some information on maybe a little short, or what do you call it?
Yeah, short.
Yeah, the short there. We'll put some information on who to contact if you want to help out.
Yeah, definitely. Perfect. That sounds good to me. We're not done yet. Hot sauce fishing. When is the next jig casting competition? I've already forgotten.
Competition, I don't know.
It's not a competition. Yeah,
the get together is the 19th.
Yeah, February
19th.
February 19th at Marine Park.
Yeah, 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Yeah. Thank you. Israel, Phil, I heard that this year you won't be able to catch bluefin tuna if you have rockfish on your boats before you hit the tuna grounds. I heard it on the Dan Hernandez show with Captain Bill. I've heard something like that too.
So I think what they're saying is this possession thing. So I think
that's before April, though, right? Once rockfish season opens up, why wouldn't you be able to?
Yeah, you can't catch rockfish anyway.
Right.
But I think the concern is going to be more of later on in the year when you can't fish less than 300 feet for rockfish.
Oh, there you go.
So the idea, I think, what possibly may happen is that you can't be in possession of rockfish and fishing in a fishing activity, less than 300 feet. So basically, and you really don't catch a whole lot of bluefin in less than 300 feet.
No, you don't.
But occasionally you might catch some yellowtail or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can't be in the fishing activity. I think that's the way I kind of understood it, and so maybe that's something we need a little more clarification. But the idea is that you can't, be in a fishing activity less than 300 feet when that time of year comes, So basically what guys are going to do is fish bluefin, yellowtail, whatever they're going to fish in shallower water, and then do the rock fishing at the end of your trip. So basically you're going to end your trip with some rockfish and then come back home. So
yeah,
that'll probably
and that's
be
okay.
The order of things. Yeah, that's from what I've heard people and captains talk about it. That's the way they explained it to me. It makes it a little tough because if you're on a 2 or 3 day trip, that might make it a little more complicated because you might have to wait till the last day to do your rock fishing. And so, but I mean, I don't think that's gonna totally derail our fishing here specifically. It's probably going to affect the guys up north quite a bit more that do the sea bass and rockfish trips. That's going to really be tough.
Yeah.
But for us specifically, I think when it's bluefin and rockfish, I don't think it's going to be much of a concern because we're not fishing bluefin in that shallower water.
Right.
But maybe if we get to the point of the year where we're catching yellowtail or white sea bass and rockfish, and that'll be later in the year after September.
Isaac says, great show tonight. Thank you so much, Isaac. Hey, I forgot to do our last question.
You got it. Oh, you just wrote it, right?
Yeah, you seem really enthused about this. You're
do
like,
it.
God, yeah, I thought we were over this.
I was like-
where are you going? Yeah, you're ready to run out of here. You're not getting out of here without giving me a chicken wing. I don't like the thin one either. I like the drumstick kind of thing.
Mine are all thin.
Oh, man. You can have it. All right. On a recent Friedman Adventures short, my son Philip was catching wide open yellowfin croaker. What lure was he using?
Oh, yeah.
What lure was he using? What kind of a lure was it that Philip was catching yellowfin croaker on? Will anybody have the answer? Albert Ponce, $25 worth of opsin fluorocarbon. It was the crocodile, which I find works really good. Mike Trunk just a little late with the crocodile. Mike has already won tonight. So Albert, thank you so much. Oh yeah, who was it?
Mike.
Albert Ponce. Yeah, I write $25. I'm going to get home and go, who is $25? I got to send him. Albert, good job. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Thanks, guys. Have a good night, says Fish Guy. I think we're going to try to get out of here one more time now, right? It's good to see you.
All right, Phil.
You look in there because our production level here is a little low. I'm going to go shut the show up, but you're going to look in that camera and thank everybody. And
Good night, Diego and Luna.
Oh yeah, Diego and Luna. Are they watching?
Probably.
All right, perfect. All right, thanks everybody. Really appreciate it. I'll be back here in a few hours with the morning briefing. Take care, my friends. There's Larry.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like him, doesn't it?
It does.
There we go.